Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at one of our favorite stops in the wintertime for some racing here at the famous Red Bluff Outlaws in Red Bluff, California. Super nice day outside. We are very lucky. 70 degrees Fahrenheit and the sun is shining. Starting my day off doing my normal track walk. No matter if I've raced at a place one time or 100 times, I always like to walk the surface and see what we got. And one thing to note, today at Red Bluff, the racetrack is soaked. Really, really wet, slimy, gooey, you could say, and a lot of that is just because they put a lot of water on the racetrack today, because even though we're racing indoors, and you would think, man, what's happening outside is not gonna affect what's happening inside, you would be wrong. The weather outside plays a big factor on what happens on the Red Bluff Outlaws racing surface. So they threw a lot of water on it today, anticipating with the warmer temperatures that the racetrack is gonna go away much faster. So after my routine track walk, I hopped in my fire suit, fired up my race car, and then got to the staging lanes because it was time for open qualifying. I drew a 95 pill, so I was one of the last cars out, and you can see my dad giving me the final shove here onto the track. Kind of an unfortunate deal there. I got out to qualify, drew a 95 pill, so I was one of the last cars, and I think that was going to be helpful with how wet the track was. As we went, cars just got better and better and better, and people were jumping to the top, and so I laid down a good first lap. My second lap, I made a mistake and just got crossed up in the crease in 3 and 4, and I knew that if I got through it cleanly, I was going to be good. But then on my last lap, it's group qualifying, there's a handful of us out there. I caught a car in front of me that had a flat left rear, and so out of my 3 laps, I only got one that counted. At least I got that though. Ended up 13th quick, which obviously in dirt racing, you always want to qualify usually as close to the top of the charts as possible. Here at Red Bluff, you do as well for points, but with the invert, we are now going to start front row outside of our heat race, so they're only going to be transferring the top 2. So depending on how these heat races shake out, I'll still have an opportunity to make the dash if I can get through and the right people miss the transfer and the right cars get in it. Looking at the racing surface, it's almost developing a little bit of a cushion, at least some fluff up here on the top. Kind of rare for that to happen at Red Bluff. This place a lot of times just gets slick and there's not really a lot to lean on, but tonight it could end up being the other way around. Anyway, we're going to be rolling out for a heat race, starting on the front row. We got to get a good start, jump out front, and control these 8 laps.
think you'll make the invert, but you'll be, that's fine. Hey, you're in the show. You look fast. After a lap, you'd get away from them.
Yeah, I screwed up on the start a little bit. My laps felt really good. The car drives really good. So we did our job starting on the outside pole and won the heat. Once I got out front, my car felt phenomenal. Just always worried about those starts. I, fired off good from the outside, kind of blocked into 1 and 2, but I got a little high on exit and kind of got like this weird hop down the back stretch where it kind of gets rough, almost like a whoop section, and it lost me some momentum, but I was still able to hold the lead and then get out front and lead every single lap. And as I said, that was super important because we needed to transfer directly into the A main event. It's tough when you don't don't qualify good, then you start lower in the lower mains if you don't advance directly through. So did our job, but unfortunately with how everyone shook out, we also missed the redraw like we did last week, and we're gonna be rolling off from row number 4 for 30 laps. So they've ran through most of the program at this point, and the racetrack is actually pretty slick. They decided to go out there though and do a full rework, or what we call a full farm. Basically, they tear up the top, tear up the bottom, throw some water on it, pack it back down, and this will speed the surface back up, give it some grip, and then, you know, hopefully not allow for massive, massive tire wear by the end of the night, and everyone's able to run a good show with multiple lanes of passing and racing. So we are just about to strap in for 30 laps inside the Pauly Davis Pavilion. We're gonna be rolling off from the 4th row outside starting position. Tonight, the track has went through so many changes. It was fast, then it was slick, then you guys saw they reworked it, and now it's arguably about back where it was, if not a little bit farther. You can almost see where it's starting to be harder on tires and spots. Guys are squeaking when they come in the corner. It's where you can literally hear the tires chattering. And that's a very important thing to listen to when you're watching other races on track. It kind of tells you how the tire wear is and where the surface is heading. So rolling off from the 4th row, of course, like normal at Red Bluff, there's chaos and things happen really quickly. If we can get the momentum to push us forward early on, being on the outside, I think we can kind of work towards the top 6, work towards the top 4, and once you get that close to the front, you can kind of form a game plan and give yourself an opportunity to win the race. an unfortunate ending to our night here in Red Bluff. Don't really have too much to say. You guys kind of saw what happened. Basically, made good progress there early in the feature. You know, was kind of doing our job, just really trying to stay patient. Every single lap, my car was getting better. We kind of made a gamble with the racetrack and was trying to find a little bit of speed, and I think we were going in the right direction. We just needed some green flag laps, and I started 8th, I got into 7th, then I got into 6th, and I think I was in the top 5 when a car spun out in front of me down in 3 and 4. Just literally one of those deals. I was trying to hang out and pick off one at a time, and as I was getting closer to the front, I'm like, all right, like we might win this race. Like, things are going good. And then snap of the fingers, they were not. Knocked the right front off the car. We got that changed thanks to everyone in the hot pit. Went to the back, and once you're back there, I just struggled to, you know, I mean, I was trying to miss carnage and trying to move around between the lanes, and I did pass some cars, but in the end, we, you know, fought really, really hard and got back to 6th. When you look at the racetrack, there wasn't a lot on the bottom to make speed. A lot of guys had to be up here. And so when you're in heavy traffic, like, you can really only do so much, and that's where, like I said, it's just such a slow crawl trying to climb back through the field. At the end of the day, though, it's dirt racing. Fortunately, that's Red Bluff, and it simply just is what it is. So big thanks to Jimmy Elledge and Factory QRC for everything he does. We're gonna wrap up the indoor season strong. I'm itching so bad to get ready to get back in the sprint car. I'm really excited for everything we have planned. I'm just clicking off the days, like, ready to go, but like I said, at the same time, finish off everything we're doing strong here with QRC and in the red 18T. Thanks for watching. Thanks for riding along with me for the journey and completing another night of action in 2024. Deuces.